everyone, it's Froggy, and I'm back again with another episode of Will a Wonderful World. So, let's go ahead and open up this post box. Green and purple, let's go for green. I feel like we haven't seen anything from Jimmy in a while, so a gray world. Oh, just you. Okay, gray world. The manga was gray. The sky was gray. Even the happy three friends that had been playing on the screen looked gray. For the past 2 days, I had been faking a foot injury. I hadn't left the room at all. Even all of my meals had been brought home by Rocky. I felt like a lump of sludge rotting in front of the computer, staring at it all day. Why would she spend her birthday with the art teacher, Mr. Wen? Were they a couple? I closed the episode of Happy Three Friends. Then I logged onto my secret blog. All of the recent entries had been about her. The most recent one had some pictures that I had taken on her birthday. She had gone into a cafe with Mr. Wen. They then left together, rode the subway together, and even went into the same apartment building. Oh, he's crying. I just realized that. Aw, baby. Even though I had soon found out that they were neighbors, it still felt like too much of a coincidence. Did she move next door to him, knowing that he lived there? I kept scrolling through the pictures, imagining that it had been me with her instead. I had been looking at her from far away, but I couldn't summon the courage. When I finally had my line ready, it was Mr. Wen who got in ahead of me. "Jimmy, I'm going to eat the last piece of cake in the fridge if you don't," Rocky yelled from the living room. "Yeah, go ahead." I wiped my face hastily. "Thank you, I'll bring you more chicken legs tonight." Rocky had thought it was my birthday 2 days ago. I had ordered a cake from Hong Kong. Thank goodness I hadn't put her name on it. I took another glance at those annoying pictures, then clicked the delete button. The confirmation dialogue popped up, yet I couldn't do it. I dragged myself to the bathroom. I looked in the mirror. My face was horribly pale. My hair was all messed up and my eyes were so red. Even the reflection seemed to be mocking my loser self. I took a wet towel and went back to the computer. I rinsed my glass with boiled water and poured some milk into it. I grabbed the face cream and squeezed the container. I held the glass up and stirred, then took a big sip. I didn't realize I had just made a huge mistake. I just thought the milk tasted bitter because of my horrible mood. Yet, it also had a minty taste. And my tongue was feeling a little numb. I looked at the bottle I had just used. Smoothie face cream. Make your face smooth like a smoothie. Then I remembered that I had run out of honey half a month ago. I spit out the remaining flavored milk onto my computer. But the real tragedy was yet to come. While I was busy wiping my keyboard, I accidentally pressed enter. I never had any backup for these pictures, as I had always felt guilty about them in the first place. So now they were all gone. All gone. Jimmy. Oh, Jimmy, honey. You are an interesting one. Okay, grabbed the face cream, squeezed the container, held the glass and stirred and took a big sip. Let's try that. I eventually hit the cancel button. I still couldn't bring myself to do it. I couldn't tell if I was just too tired or if it was because of the milk. I hunched over the desk and fell asleep. Well, that was easy. Purple next. No puedo regresar. A woman with fiery hair. Just you. Okay. We got a lot of hello. Thursday. On the side of a bush-covered hill 2 kilometers away from Tai O Road. Through the scope of my M110, I was staring at a factory 1 kilometer away. Did she become a hitman since the last time I saw her? Jesus. There was no other vantage point around the factory. This was the closest FFP available. Final firing position refers to a chosen position by a sniper or a team in a mission. A spot could be considered a potential FFP if it satisfies the following conditions. The target's location must be widely visible from the spot. 2, there are covert passages available in and out of the area. 3, avoid places that are adjacent to artificial structures and roads, as well as any sites that might attract the target's attention. 4, ideally, it should be on the downwind direction, and if possible, be close to water. The wind speed was 4.3 miles per second, and there were no signs of that changing. Mil.4 -2. I had laid out the bullets next to me in a straight line, warming them up in the sun. 2:10 p.m. A small yellow sedan drove up to the factory entrance. Loading. The door opened, and a woman with a full head of fiery red hair got out of the car. Her name was Lihua. She was the head of the firearms smuggling team in the Blood Gang. Aiming. I pulled the trigger. She became a badass, alright. The target was down. I saw a flash from the window on a second floor of the factory. There was another sniper aiming at me. A bullet pierced and shattered the scope. I jerked myself to the side. The bullet didn't go through my eye as my opponent had hoped, but it did give me a severe injury. The right side of my face was burning. It felt like it was on fire. I lowered my body and slid down the other side of the slope. I got onto the motorcycle that I had prepared in advance. However, on the way back, my consciousness began drifting away. I lost control of the vehicle. The bike tumbled headfirst into a ditch. Blood was mixing with the muddy water of the ditch. It was black and red everywhere. While Lihua had been killed, completing a mission like this was rather embarrassing. Perhaps this wasn't the right job for me after all. Alicia. Alright. Okay. Aiming. Pulled the trigger. The target was down. I saw a flash from the window, the second floor. Aiming at me. A bullet pierced and shattered the scope. Okay, let's just try that. Whoops. I could see in the scope that my opponent had dodged my killing shot. Nevertheless, I had earned enough time to disengage. Meanwhile, while I was distracted, the red-haired woman had disappeared from my sight. I lowered my body and slid down the other side of the slope. I got onto the motorcycle that I had prepared in advance. They would no doubt be enhancing their security after this. I had failed my first mission. I didn't know how to report back to Ray. The noise from the engine echoed through the valley, and it sounded like a growl from an upset monster that no one could see, making me feel even more unsettled. B. So not good enough. Let's keep trying. Pull the trigger. Target was down. Okay, we'll try that. My bullet pierced and shattered my opponent's scope and skull. Meanwhile, while I was distracted, the red-haired woman had disappeared from my sight. I lowered my body and slid down the other side of the slope. I got onto my motorcycle that I had prepared in advance. They would no doubt be enhancing security after this. I had failed my first mission. I didn't know how to report back to Ray, then blah blah blah. Okay, better. I think I did try this. Why don't we try it this way? No. Okay, we'll try that. Target went down first. I could see in the scope that my opponent had dodged my killing shot. Nevertheless, I had earned enough time to disengage. Mission accomplished. I lowered my body and slid down the other side of the slope. I got onto the motorcycle that I had prepared in advance. I rode away faster than a breeze. I reported the news to Ray in a luxury suite on the top floor of Melody Hall. He was very happy. I have something for you. Ray picked up his coat from the floor and pulled a small box from his pocket. He then handed it to me with his left hand. It's a shame that I can't help you put it on. Later, I put the glamorous jeweled necklace into my special treasure box collection. Then I took out the necklace with a cross on it out of the box. It was the necklace that I had worn ever since I was a kid. I put it into an envelope. I wanted to mail it to my brother. Over the last 4 years, I had been regularly sending money to the orphanage back home. Aunt Benita had also written back to me a couple times. She told me that Carlos had been doing well and that he had worked very hard in school. Carlos must have been all grown up by now. He must have become a fine young man. I really wished that one day I could get a letter written by him. Ah, but little do you know, he's not there anymore. Well, I think I'm going to go ahead and end this episode here for today. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you want to see more videos from me, then don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.